Back here live in Oklahoma City ahead of Game 5 as the Minnesota Timberwolves are on the brink of elimination with the Thunder on the cusp of an NBA Finals berth. And this isn't necessarily uncharted territory for the franchise. It has been 13 years since Oklahoma City last went to the finals, dating back to their time in Seattle. The franchise has been to the finals 4 times, winning it all in 1979, while Minnesota has yet to reach the finals. Now, looking back at Game 4, it felt like a moment where any questions about who else can step up for this team next to their MVP for the Thunder, they were answered. SGA, J-Dub, Chet Holmgren, they combined for 95 points, the most by any Thunder trio in a playoff game. When you consider who's played for this franchise, it's pretty impressive. And that leaves the Wolves facing elimination. That's a spot that Anthony Edwards has been in 7 times before. He's won 4 of those games and puts up 27, 7, and 6 with his back against the wall. So let's break it down with the bets in the business. Janae, Brian, UD. Brian, start this out for me. Fill in the blank. Game 5, it is going to come down to what?
Margin of error, as in very small for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They just have to play almost perfect basketball. I thought they played a pretty good game in Game 4. It wasn't able to get it done. They have even less margin for error here in OKC.
To me, it's pressure. There's the pressure of elimination. There's the pressure to extend. But most importantly on the court, it's the pressure to attack the paint. So far, the Thunder have been excellent at that. SGA, he's a mid-range monster, but also it's hard to keep him in front. Now, Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves, he needs to find the paint. Again, this is a team that at times settles for jumpers, but when he's most lethal is when he has those highlight plays. These 2 guys are going to be attacking the rim, and it's not the bigs, it's the guards. It's the guards that are trying to attack the inside.
And for me, it's Julius Randle. Flat out, hands down, Julius Randle. When he comes to play, we see the difference in the outcome when they come. So we can argue that Ant is their best player, but I say Julius Randle is the most important player right now.
I would say defense, right? We saw that when the Timberwolves needed it most, it was the Thunder that could get stops, and it was Minnesota that could not. They played a pretty good game, but they couldn't get those pivotal stops while the Thunder were making these really incredibly difficult shots. But if we see an all-out effort here from the Timberwolves, this has all the makings of what could be an awesome game. And speaking of, we saw that last night in Indianapolis. That crowd was rocking from the get-go. And in Game 4, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Haliburton, John Haliburton reinstated. But early in the first quarter here, Shanae, the Knicks defense, it leaves Haliburton wide open. This would be a theme.
Big mistake right here. Usually this is a guy that loves to have the game-winning shot. Well, that happened from the jump, from wire to wire. He was looking for a shot. When he does this, knocks down threes, that makes everything easier for his teammates.
Yeah, you don't want to give a guy like Haliburton, who's going to have the ball in his hands majority of the night, open shots early and get him going.
Less than 5 minutes to go here. Haliburton, a nice little scoop inside for the layup. And then right here, a little over a minute later, Haliburton again with the sweet dish right here to Pascal Siakam. He was spicy when the Pacers needed him.
They're a great duo, a tag team. I mean, if you talk about Rick Carlisle and the style and the pace they play, those 2 are complementary.
And they're just such a deep team as well here at Chennai. Haliburton corrals it, gives it back up to Tony Bradley, who lays it in. Haliburton, 20 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds in the first half. He also either made or assisted on all 8 of the Pacers triples here. So to the fourth quarter we go here. Under 5 minutes to go. The Knicks down by 8. Karl Anthony Towns corrals it inside, gets that put back to go in. The Knicks down 6. The Pacers, though, it felt like every time the Knicks hit here, Brian, the Pacers hit right back.
They just had so little resistance on offense. That was because of Haliburton and the position that they kept putting the Knicks in.
We're showing consecutive plays here, Chennai. Again, the Knicks, they made offensive plays down the stretch. They just couldn't get stopped.
Yeah, but you see countless plays afterward. I mean, look at this basket right here. There's nobody in front of Haliburton. Like, this is the NBA Conference Finals. Defense has to be present.
And OG Anunoby has consistently guarded their best player, but it just hasn't quite worked in this series. Scary moment here. Karl Anthony Towns. It looks like they went knee to knee here, collided. He goes down clearly in pain here. He would stay in the game, but he was shaken up, as you can see here on the sidelines. And then less than a minute left. The Pacers up 7 and inbounding. Look how much time is left and still what they're able to execute here, Shanae.
I mean, this was the moment where you're like, it might be their time. Obi Toppin, sweet on the other side.
and Pop's all business.
Pop.
You think he's loving it. Haliburton, 32 points, 15 assists, 12 rebounds. The Pacers win 130.
He's out on good behavior.
See?
Out on good behavior.
I gotta get me some t-shirts.
Haliburton, though, continued to dazzle. And Rick Carlisle, I know you're going to say this is a group effort. You don't want to hear about individual stats, but the man is doing something we've literally never seen before. He's the first player with a game of 30 points, 10 rebounds, 15 assists, and no turnovers. His play has Indy one win away from the finals, but they aren't lacking focus on the main goal. Here's Hallie after the game.
I was just trying to be aggressive, trying to respond. I felt like I let the team down in game 3, so it's important for me to come out here and just make plays. And, guys put me in position to make plays and trying to play my game. And, man, it's a big win for us.
Ty did some historic stat stuff tonight. That's great, but it's tough talking about stats when it's such a team thing right now. So happy for him. It'll get celebrated on all the networks and stuff like that. But in our world right now, it's day 7 of 13, and tomorrow's day 8. And we've got to just keep our eye on the ball and keep focusing on each day.
Hi, it's us. We're the networks, and we're going to celebrate those stats because it's hard to look past them. I know this is a special, special team, Brian, but in your mind, what did you see?
Just a historic game from Tyrese Haliburton. Okay, he obviously had the scoring. Look, scoring is cool, but what can you do to help your team get better? That's where you get to superstar level. That's how you get to MVP level. In this game, his passing was absolutely elite. 15 assists, okay? 15 of 23 shooting. That means that he made 23 passes that led to shots, and they made 15 of them. Put it together, 67 points created by him scoring or setting up his teammates. That's an awesome number. And when you include the fact that all of his rebounds were defensive, and so he got the ball and got them going the other way with those fast breaks. He had 4 steals, which allowed him to start other fast breaks. And you can't compute no turnovers, so there was no blemishes on that. It's the apex of efficiency at a high value time.
The thing that makes this team special to me is how everyone stars in their role. I mean, we talk about Naismith, we talk about Nembhard, but they bring in a guy like Bradley who hasn't played. Thomas Bryant has been getting those minutes, all the way down to a guy like James Johnson, who's been in the locker room with me, who doesn't play at all. But you see all these guys rave about his leadership and what he brings to this team. Everyone stars in their role, and there's no egos. Even Carlisle, who's a wizard as a coach.
Right. And when we talk about margin for error and how thin it is for a team like the Minnesota Timberwolves, it feels like the Pacers, their margin for error, it's a lot wider because they're so deep. It's because a guy like Ben Mathurin, who's struggled the last couple of games, can come in and give you 20 in 12 minutes off the bench. Like, it's that sort of effort that really separates this Indiana team. For some reason, they can't win on Indy 500 Day, but pace is so important for them, Shanae. You've been pointing it out all season long.
Yeah, quick shots and turnovers are the Pacers' ticket to the NBA Finals. They had 22 fast break points, tied for the most so far in the postseason. And the last thing you want to do is Tyrese Haliburton, have him get a defensive rebound, because watch this right here. They flip the switch quick. He's off to the races, and watch Mikal Bridges. He's like, hey, somebody's got to stop the ball. What does this do? This forces Jalen Brunson to come off the strong side, the corner 3. So now he's coming off to try to slow down Tyrese Haliburton, and now it goes up. Shot clock, 19 seconds, 18 seconds. It happens so fast. Turnovers, again, you get your hands on the ball, they're off to the races. You see Pascal sprinting like a track star. Now, again, you have an advantage. That's the worst position you want to be, backwards to the basketball. Now you have the guy with the most vision in the NBA with 2 options, a 3 or a 2, a nice little pump fake to finish. This is a squad that just, honestly, they play the right way. They play fast. They distribute the ball. They can all shoot. They can all run. It is a track meet. You know how they say, you're a runner, you're a track star. They're all track stars, and they're running their way to the NBA Finals.
You even see it in their half-court sets. And it's not just the team. It feels like Rick Carlisle is the perfect coach for this group, UD.
I know that personally. Rick, you owe me a ring. You took one. You took one from me. And Spo would tell you this personally. Rick made him better in that series. He is a person that thinks outside the box. There's the things that we play half court basketball. We get into a lot of pick and rolls. They're playing full court basketball. It's almost like pickup, man. Get it and go. Get to your spots. Get your lanes. Run the Mac truck lane like we used to talk about in Miami Heat. Give them as much space as possible and get downhill. These are things that you're not seeing, and you cannot emulate this in practice. You only see it when you see it, and it's too late.
Special mention to Aaron Nesmith. We weren't even sure he was going to be able to go. He goes, plays 16 minutes, very impactful, all contributing to this terrific Pacers run.
Again, these Pacers, they just come at you in waves. and that's why we're seeing them up 3-1 in this series. Still to come on NBA Today. He has been dominant. He's been benched, and now Julius Randle, he might be the biggest wild card, right, UD, in the entire conference finals. What it all means for Game 5 and beyond, we discuss. Plus, Game 4, it was personal, and Tyrese Haliburton, he played like it. Udonis, he tells us how far the all-world point guard can take Indy, and the playoffs may be winding down.
What's your favorite team? Comment below, and if you liked the video, please leave a like. This really helps the channel grow and brings you even more content. Oh, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive all notifications. With each game, we notice that the NBA is getting more competitive every day, and all the teams are looking for reinforcements to win the championship. And only here can you follow your favorite team daily with incredible content from different sources. Here on the channel, there are new videos every day with analysis, curiosities, and the best moments in basketball. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for following along. The NBA doesn't stop, and neither do we. Until the next video. NBA, the passion that connects us.